Hey Joel, do you ever feel lonely?
With you around? How could I ever feel lonely?
It's possible.
Why? Are you feeling like that right now, Travis?
No, but it's what we're going to be talking about today at Mr. Jacob's garage.
Oh, well, let's listen in then.
Are we all assembled? Pierre, is everyone here?
Oui, Flora. Come now. The master of the house says we have but a couple of hours before we must leave.
You're right, of course. You know, I never thought once in my life that I would be speaking publicly to crowds of people, trying to get them to join a cause that could change the course of history.
None of us did.
I don't think I can do this. I've never been like one of those stars on a stage.
You can.
Monsieur, mademoiselle, I do not think it's a good idea for you to stay in my inn much longer. This talk about revolution and overthrowing the king is bad for business, do you hear? The people sing about turning this country around, but at the end of the day, it's my head at stake for hosting this kind of rabble.
We understand, Leon. Miss Flora is going to make her speech, and then we'll be on our way.
Très bien. Come to me when she is finished. My busboy is taking night classes, so I have to empty chairs and empty tables on my own tonight.
All right, here it goes.
Good luck.
Tonight is the night where your journey begins, my friends.
Solid start.
Is that a friend of yours?
Shh. She just started.
How many of you look down at the road of life and see but a shadow of hope? I used to be like you, believing everything I heard, everything I read, and black were those tidings. But listen here, my handsome lads. Listen here, my lovely ladies. Tonight I bring you a message of valor.
And what good are those words of valor in times like these?
I'm sorry?
I've heard speeches like these before. Tales of conquest and of bravery. It's never gotten anyone anywhere.
But this time it'll be different. We're going to organize. We're going to take up arms. We're going to
storm the castle on a cloudy night. Yada, yada, yada. It never changes. You'll all see it one day. More and more of these revolutions arise, and they all fail. All of you are little people with little people lives. Go back to them.
No, wait. Come back, please.
Looks like my work is done. Tell your friends I apologize for the confrontation.
But why did you do that?
My nephew is in this crowd, and this kind of talk will get him in big trouble. My sister made me vow to bring him home safe and sound. Adieu.
Hey, get back here.
Do you know her, Flora?
No, I've never met that miserable...
Calm down. Here's some water. Drink with me and listen to the radio. We must make our plans.
You're right. The cause lives on, and the radio has charmed to fill a heart full of love where bitterness now dwells.
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah, go ahead. Start it up.
Morning, kids, or should I say scouts?
Good morning, citizen. Would you like to be part of the Turtle Scout Troop 11022?
Can't say I had considered it, Peter. I was going to spend my morning organizing my Broadway vinyls. Are you guys on recruiting assignment today?
Yeah. I think Mr. Jacobs is a little old for Turtle Scouts, Pete.
He could be a leader.
Maybe, but I think we only get our patches if we recruit kids.
Well, kids tend to show up around here, so I think you'll have your chance.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Chelsea! Glad you're here. Sit down, sit down. Is there anything I can get you?
I'm okay.
You want a glass of water? A snack?
I'm good, guys. Honest.
How about a radio program? You like those?
Mr. Jacobs, what's going on?
I think you're being asked to join the Turtle Scouts.
The Turtle Scouts?
That's right. We go on nature walks, go camping, fishing, rock climbing, and stuff.
But activities are just the beginning. Our organization is determined to train up a new generation of responsible, compassionate, and courageous citizens that will make the world a better place.
What?
I don't think she wants to hear the mission statement, Flora.
If it's not important, why do they put it on the first page of the manual?
Sorry, guys, but can we talk about this later? I just came here to listen to the radio.
Did we mention the cookouts, the Pinewood Derby, the Turtle Scout pie sale?
Sounds great.
So you'll sign up?
Look, guys, I don't want to join your club right now. Can you give it a rest?
Sorry, we've got patches to earn.
Yeah, just think about it, okay?
If I promise to think about it, will you leave me alone for like 30 minutes so I can listen to the radio?
But in the Turtle Scouts, you're never alone. You'll have friends who will be there through thick and thin.
Be that as it may, Peter, I think it's best to listen to the radio for right now.
Fine.
All right, guys. I've thought it over, and I have come to a decision.
You mean about joining the Turtle Scouts?
About joining the Turtle Scouts.
You won't regret it, Chelsea. It's the best decision you've ever made.
I'm sure. I've decided not to join your club.
Aw.
It's the uniforms, isn't it? I know they don't look comfortable. I mean, they aren't comfortable, but they are practical.
It's not the uniforms, Flora. I just think that I wouldn't like having to follow rules all the time. I mean, look at your manual. It's thicker than my hand.
But it's not all rules. It's all sorts of cool stuff. See? Here you build a canoe. On this page you learn how to cook rice in the jungle.
Right. But how often do you get to do all of those things?
Well,
I mean, how many canoes have you built so far, Pete?
we haven't gotten that far in the manual yet. I've only been a Turtle Scout for a couple years or so.
So I'll have to wait at least 2 years to get to the fun stuff?
I mean, there are other cool things we do.
That's the thing, though. I can do cool stuff myself. I don't need to be part of a boys and girls club to do any of this.
But it's the camaraderie of the thing.
The what?
Mr. Jacobs, you've been over there listening this whole time. Could you help?
I don't know if I can, Flora. Chelsea seems to have her mind made up.
We know, but we think she'd really like to be a part of it all.
And it's great that you want her to be part of it all. But she's got to make her own decisions. And right now, it seems like she's not interested in being part of your troop.
Well, that's that, I guess. What now?
We can listen to the radio?
Good idea.
Are you okay, Mr. Jacobs?
Oh, yeah, just looking at these albums.
Looks more like you're staring into space.
You caught me, Chelsea. I was just thinking about something.
Like maybe being a leader in the Turtle Scouts?
Peter, give it a rest.
Sorry, no, I was thinking about church, actually.
Really? Is there something big happening tomorrow or something?
No, at least I don't think so. I was pondering what you kids were talking about earlier.
Were we talking about church?
Not exactly, Flora. But the way you were trying to sell Chelsea on joining the Turtle Scouts reminded me of how we sometimes treat church like a type of club.
We do? Does your church have uniforms and secret handshakes or something? I don't think mine does.
The greeter at my church shakes everybody's hands when they come in. Does that count?
I don't think so.
That's not quite what I meant. There are things we do at church that might feel like a secret handshake, though. Stuff that seems ordinary to us might not be something a visitor is familiar with, and that can make people a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I could see that. Greeting time still makes me uncomfortable. And I've been going to the same church my whole life.
Anyway, what I was thinking about was how often we invite people to church like it was a club. We mention the events and the activities, all the while missing the point of what church is supposed to be.
Oh boy, I've heard this before.
Heard what before, Pete?
My grandma talks about this all the time. How church isn't supposed to be rock music and messy clothes. Back in my day, we had church the right way. Organ music and hymns, and people dressed their best for the Lord.
I've heard that too. And though the more traditional way to meet as the church is a treasure that we shouldn't ignore, it's not what I meant.
So what did you mean?
I guess the best way to explain it is like it says in Ephesians 2. There, God tells us that before we knew something about Jesus or what God wanted from us, we were alone in the world. Sure, we had our friends and family if we were lucky, but we were cut off from God's love.
Yeah, but God changed all that by sending Jesus to die for us so that when we believe that Jesus is God and that He came back to life for us, we can be with Him.
Very good, Chelsea. But more than that, we also become part of the kingdom and the family of God. In short, we belong.
Belong?
Okay, maybe too short. This chapter in Ephesians explains that all of the people who believe and ever have believed in God's promises, no matter where they are from, are all citizens of God's kingdom. Where there once was war and hatred, there is now peace. And together we make a place where God is worshiped and praised forever.
That's a little much for me to understand right now, Mr. Jacobs. Not gonna lie.
Me too, Flora. I think what I'm trying to say is that being part of the church isn't about the cool stuff we do, or the music we sing, or the buildings with steeples. It's about coming together as one to worship God anytime, anywhere, encouraging each other, telling others about what God has done, and following Him.
Like it says in
1 Peter 2:9, Hebrews 10:24, Colossians 1:18, Colossians 3:16.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of verses that talk about this kind of stuff.
yeah, and I'm going to look them up right now.
Now?
Sure, I don't want to forget.
Makes sense, I guess. While you do that, I'm going to listen to the radio.
Mr. Jacobs, I have a question about what we've been talking about today.
Okay, Flora, how can I help you?
Well, we've been talking about how when we believe in Jesus and what He did for us, we become part of something bigger. God's family, God's kingdom, the church, whatever.
Right.
You also said that we all belong there, which I took to mean we all matter, and God wants us to be there. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Then why is it that when I go to church, sometimes I don't feel like I'm welcome there? Am I doing something wrong? Am I going to the wrong church?
I mean, it must be you're doing something wrong. Mr. Jacobs just explained that God says you do belong. So if you feel like you don't, then obviously it's not God who's wrong.
Though this might be the right answer, Peter, it's not the only explanation.
Wait, God can be wrong?
No, I'm not saying that either. Sometimes, when we feel alone, when we are in the church, it can be because we have stepped back. Maybe we are hiding bad things that we're doing or have done and don't want to admit them. This can definitely cut us off from the rest of God's family. And that's why in verses like James 5:16, God tells us to confess to each other when we're doing wrong things, so we can help each other and pray for each other.
But what if you can't think of anything you're trying to hide?
Well, like I said, that's one possibility. It might just be that we haven't tried to be part of the church.
Okay, trying to be part of the church. What does that mean?
Oh, there are a few ways that I could mention, but to make a long explanation short, it means we do what we can to serve others and allow ourselves to be served by others. Being a servant and allowing our brothers and sisters to serve us in turn so that no one is treated as less is what the kingdom of God is supposed to look like.
Huh. Okay. I can see how if you do one or the other, you might feel like you don't belong, and I might try that. But are there any other reasons why I would feel unwelcome?
Unfortunately, yes. I can think of one. The thing about the church is though God has saved all of His kingdom from all of the things we've done wrong, we still are broken and do wrong things. This means that people in church, even pastors, can do and say the wrong thing. It might be by mistake, or it might be on purpose. But these things can be hurtful.
Really? I mean, that happens? Even with pastors?
Sadly, yes. Fortunately, in Matthew 18, God gives us a step-by-step way to deal with this kind of thing.
Stay quiet so you don't rock the boat?
No. It involves a little bit more interaction than that.
Oh.
Speaking of rocking the boat, Flora, we've got to go. The troop boat safety course is starting.
Boat safety? Boat safety?
Yeah, it's at the pool. Are you coming, Flora?
Yeah, I'm just writing down the Bible verse Mr. Jacobs was talking about so I can look it up. Matthew 18, right?
Yep. And I'd say verse 15 is a good starting point.
All right, thanks.
See you later. So what are your plans for the rest of the day, Chelsea?
I don't know. I might go to the pool, see what this whole Turtle Scout thing looks like.
Thinking about joining?
Just looking, for now.
All right. Before you go, would you do me a favor?
Sure.
Want to turn off the radio?
No problem.